MG have released a 1-minute teaser clip of a new hatchback style car that will rival the likes of the VW ID3 and or a Cat. They say it was created with European markets in mind. Let's get stuck into the details. Derek, this looks really, really exciting. 30-second elevator pitch. What are we talking about here?
It's what we want. It's affordable. It's C segment. It's city hatches. It's family hatches. MG are really smart if they're going to get into this space at an affordable price. We're hearing rumblings about this for a while, but this teaser, all it's doing is just teasing us now. So I suppose we need to get into what we know, what we don't know, what we're going to speculate, and stick around till the end until we have a chat with regards to the supply chain issues that are facing MG and other manufacturers at the moment. So Blake, we're going to start off styling, I think.
Yeah, we want to talk about, measurements, batteries, range, charging, things like that. But let's kick off the styling there, because the clip has been rolling there. The B-roll, people are kind of seeing that curtain been drawn back. We don't know much, but we do have, those patent 3D models as well that we've seen photos of. So we can tell a little bit about it. Now, for me, when I look at the front there, I mean, that just sings Cooper to me. And we know that the parent company, are fond of taking cues. We recovered the Maxus E-Deliver 9 on this before the van, and we're like, is that a Transit or a Maxus? But anyway, let's move on. I love that the spoiler at the back reminds me of the EV6. We can tell a few other things as well. Like if you pause the video and zoom in on the wheels, we can see that they're 17-inch there. It's written on the tire measurements. But I like the style. It's that hatchback kind of crossover style. It's so difficult these days to put cars into exact segments with so many different crossovers. But really edgy, lots of creases, and it'll be really, really interesting to see this in the flesh. And does it hold true to those teaser images?
For sure. I really like I love the styling of it. I love that crease in the bonnet, and you can see that from the patent drawings. And I also love the rear of it. It reminds me of the Hyundai Bayon. And as much as people are talking about this being like an SUV, I think it's more hatchback. And I was lucky enough to review the Megane recently, and this is more of what we want. It's what we're used to, and we don't all need to be in SUVs. Size-wise, there's only one fact that we actually know. It's just over 4 meters long. Everything else is all speculation, and if you know more, let us know in the comments. But you're talking similar size to an ID3. Leaf is slightly longer, and its own sibling than the MG5. The world's first electric estate, well, definitely the most affordable electric estate. If you take the Cross Turismo out of it, that's just at 4.5 meters long. So lengthwise, it's a decent size. It's what we need. It's not too big. Blake, price-wise, what are we thinking it's going to go up against?
Well, look, we have to compare this to the ID3. With the MG being exactly 4.3 and then the ID3 being 4.26, it's pretty much the same size. Is it on the bespoke platform? These are the kind of things we're waiting to find out, unlike, VW's ID3 on that MEB platform. But in terms of price, we don't know exactly. But okay, let's see. How can we compare it? What can we start thinking about? In the UK, just to take, because that's going to be a big market, just to give us some kind of reference prices, although it's going to be different between currency conversions, incentives, tax breaks, all these kind of things. But 27,500 that the MG5 starts at in the UK. Now we know this is going to be cheaper than that, don't we? Let us know in the comments if you disagree with us. Then you've also got the ID3, which kind of kicks off around 30,000 sterling. But then the Leaf, that's back to 27,000 to start off for the smaller, the 40 kilowatt hour battery. So can we fairly guess that this is going to be the 24,000 sterling mark, something like that? We'll find out more in the coming months, Q4 release. So we should get some pricing in the next couple of months. But let's move on. Derek, do we know anything about battery range, charging? How can we figure that out?
Yeah, and even we better not forget Aura Cat as well, which had its UK release there recently. So that it's going to be a direct head-to-head with that. And MG, I think, have a one-up on it because it has the network, it has the cars that are out there. Charging and battery and range, we don't know, unfortunately. Again, we're looking at the Leaf 37 kilowatt hour battery with 150 miles real-world range. You're looking at the ID5 with the 58 kilowatt hour battery usable, 220 miles range, and then the MG5 with its 57 usable kilowatt hour battery with a 200 mile range. So we're looking probably between the 50 and 60. Will they offer different battery sizes? Potentially not. I know the ID3 and the Leaf do as well, and the Megane with the 40 and the 60 kilowatt. We're looking for that kind of battery size and that kind of range for it to be competitive, or even just desirable for people that are looking for that size car, but be it electric. You were talking about hot hatches at the beginning, Blake. What are we thinking performance-wise?
MG, if you're watching this, if the executives are watching this and you have time, please, twin motors, please, let's get our first proper electric hot hatch here. Could you just imagine that, 150 kilowatt motor on the rear and even an 80 kilowatt motor on the front or something like that? Be absolutely brilliant. Once again, we don't know. The MG5 is 115 kilowatt motor and 280 newton meters of torque. So, that's a 0 to 62 sprint in 8.3 seconds. So, is it going to get the same motor? Quite possibly. Which would make it quite reasonable, because this is going to be a smaller car. It might have a smaller battery. It's going to be lighter. It's going to be faster again. So look at the Marvel. We look at the ZS EV, the MG5. They're not class leading, of course, by any means, but they're still fast cars, relatively speaking to what's on the road. So I suspect they're going to come in with some pretty good times. Possibly the hot hatch twin motors. Possibly not, because they're going to be looking for key price points, but that would be just brilliant, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. And the fact that they can do something bespoke, it's look like a European-led design. This isn't going to be something rebadged out of the SAIC stable. It isn't a rebadged Rowie that we can have a look at in the Chinese or Asian market. This is something that has been tweaked to tick a lot of boxes, and Europe is a huge market for EVs at the moment, probably world leading as a region. So MG are looking as to what size battery people want, what size electric motors people are looking for, what size cars overall we're looking for. So speaking about manufacturers, Blake, what do you think with regards to supply chain shortages? Because we're hearing of horror stories of people who want MG ZSs, but unfortunately have to wait months and months like other manufacturers.
Yeah, and it's just like they're not alone. We look at what's been happening to GM over in the States, and that's not just because of both fire issues and recalls. They're pausing production. Ford have paused production in some of their plants as well. So it's a huge issue. But let's just remind ourselves that this is coming from SAIC Motors. These are a gigantic company. I knew next to nothing about them until I started getting into EVs and came across the MG a lot more in the last couple of years. But these guys are huge. I mean, we're not just talking about them trying to find batteries to stick into the first 2,000 production models here. These guys, they deal in megawatts of battery capacity, So are they going to face issues? Yeah, of course they are, but they're so big that are they able to just take a little bit of batteries from, their bus or their electric truck vehicles over there and send them over into the MG4 or whatever the name is going to be? They're facing issues, but they shouldn't have the issues that other smaller manufacturers have. But yeah, Q4 of this year, of 2022 release date, and let's hope that we get those cars then. Although we should have some more details in the meantime. Prices. I suspect that the teaser we've just had is so small that they will have to be drip feeding a little bit more information between now and then.
For sure. We've haven't had a lot of details concrete today, folks, but if you're interested in these cars or any electric vehicles, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave us a comment if you know more than we do, if you found out a secret that we haven't figured out. This has been EV Platform.
Thank you very much for watching.